Hey guys, All in Crypto here and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin and more importantly, what we believe is to come for Bitcoin. Where do we go from here? Guys, I want to try and steady the ship as much as possible. We came out yesterday and we said, look, I got filled on a lot of orders. I am buying. I do not think by any means, shape or form this bull run is over. We're going to look at perhaps why that is. I also have been in the crypto space long enough to have witnessed something like this. We're going to take a look at March 2020 and we're going to show you that we had a more of a significant sell-off back then. Of course, we had a lot of news attached to that. This sell-off in total, guys, was around about 55%. Brutal. Now, we've covered something called the Bitcoin four-year cycle theory in extreme length on this channel. And ultimately, today, really, we've been following 2017's roadmap very, very similar. The only thing is now we're a bigger market. We have a higher market cap. Ultimately, it was really going to be too easy if we were just going to continue to have sort of 30 to 40% pullbacks. There was going to be a spanner in the works. And this is what I believe you have had happen. A lot of people are saying that this is a Wyckoffean structure that we're seeing form or have had form. I do subscribe to that. I like Wyckoff theory. Wyckoff theory was essentially created to combat the insiders, the big institutions milking the retail guy. I'm all about that. That's what this channel is about, hopefully making the retail guy like me, like you, make some money. So what do we think is next for Bitcoin? What do we think is next for the overall crypto market? Well, what actually happened? Lots of people are blaming Elon for this. I think people are giving this guy a lot more credit than he deserves. He is not the reason for this sell-off. He's just one factor, one very annoying factor. We've said from the start, his involvement in the crypto space is not a good thing because it trivializes the entire space. At least Tesla has diamond hands for all this. So you had, in the last 24 hours, more than 775,000 traders have had their accounts liquidated, equal to $8.6 billion worth of crypto. Do not trade leverage, ladies and gentlemen. If you are new to this space, the best thing you can do is buy and hodl. So many people rang me yesterday and go, I've sold my crypto. And I said, why have you sold your crypto? They go, because it's dipping. Welcome to the crypto space. Why am I not worried about this dip? It is concerning, of course, and I don't like the fact that people have lost their money. Hello, Coinbase. Somebody used my credit card to buy Bitcoin at 67K. Don't be this guy. If you've bought at a top, own the fact that you've done that. Own the fact that you probably, don't really know what you're doing, but understand how you make money in the crypto space. And how you make money in the crypto space is by buying and hodling. You can make money as a trader, but significantly more traders lose money than make money. Not only that, if you then want to try and mess around with leverage, it is like running into a natural gas reserve with a lit stick of dynamite. It's not going to end very well. Take that from somebody who's been there and done that. I don't trade leverage. Occasionally I might if I know that something has a very high probability of paying off. But really, I'm a hodler. I'm an investor. I'm a macro investor that's been here for 4 years and have seen that the strategy of buying and hodling actually works. Now, this, like I say, was around about a 55% sell-off. Why am I not worried? Well, we've already seen this. Yes, there was a different narrative attached to it. This is March back in 2020. Now, we know what the narrative was. I can't really say on this video because, of course, I'll get flagged. Where we essentially saw a 62% sell-off. We recovered from this. This goes to show Bitcoin's resilience and the real strength that Bitcoin had. That's why I'm not worried about this. Now, of course, the rest of the market just follows Bitcoin. We already know this. We've covered it on a number of occasions on this channel. We did, in fact, anticipate and call this sell-off. We make a Cardano video every single day. We love Cardano. It's one of the altcoins that we're most heavily invested in, and we really are on board with the vision of that team. We essentially said, look, there's a big problem setting up not only for Cardano but the entire space right now, and that's Bitcoin. We looked at the Wyckoffean structure. We looked at a number of things. We looked at the fact that you had marginally higher highs, which is a bad sign. We looked at the rising wedge kind of patterns that were forming and that we broke out of and said, on balance of probability, we need to watch what's happening with Bitcoin. We've had that sell-off, and I do not believe you are going to go back below your 29K mark. Now, what is to come for Bitcoin now? Well, ultimately, this is March 2020 when we had the catastrophe. You can see you sold off, but you are going to bottom out here and you are, in my opinion, going to come back above your EMA, the 20 EMA, and continue this bull run. You can see that you bottomed out here. We think we bottomed out where we are today. And ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think you really have too much to worry about. I think this was just a big sell-off, and I think you have the same actors at play that were here in like the dot-com boom, the same people that have a vested interest in making sure that you stay poor. That is really, one of the main things I want to drive home. This was not done by retail. This was mainly driven by institutions that then triggered a huge retail sell-off. That's how it goes, guys. Markets don't necessarily move themselves. Yes, retail do have a certain involvement. Another thing I want to highlight about Bitcoin strength, and one reason why I'm almost so certain that this perhaps is the bottom of this bull market. And if it's not, we will come on here and we will do another video and where we'll kind of tinker our strategy to what we think is now going to happen. Ultimately, I'm in the crypto space for the long run. Yes, I am going to take profits towards the end of the year on certain altcoins and perhaps Bitcoin, depending on where it is. But I have a large part of my cryptocurrencies that I am going to keep for years into the future, 5, 10, 15 years, because ultimately I believe in blockchain technology. I believe in where it's going. I think we are moving towards a new world, and blockchain technology is going to play a crucial role in helping to run that world. You can see that essentially you had a 50% buyback of this wick, which really shows strength. You had Justin Sun, Tron's creator, come out and say, look, he's buying. He bought loads of Bitcoin at this price. I actually was trying to buy Bitcoin. I couldn't get Bitcoin. I got filled on all my altcoins, but I had a number of issues. The transaction fees that I ended up paying for trying to transact and move money from exchanges to try and actually get filled on my Bitcoin orders down here was, I don't even like to think about it because it was quite a lot of money that I actually wasted on trying to actually get filled. Lots of people saying they were having issues with Coinbase, they were having issues with Binance. That's why I don't use those two exchanges. I have in the past, and I think for new users, they are perfect because they are very new user friendly. Certainly something like Coinbase and Binance, they allow you to stake on both platforms. But for me, ultimately, because I am more experienced, I guess, I use different exchanges. I still do use Binance occasionally, but it's not my sort of preferred exchange to go to. Reason being is because when we have periods of high volatility, we tend to, or Binance and Coinbase tend to not, act so well. You don't want to be caught in, you don't want to be caught out when everyone's fleeing for their exit. You already wanted to have exited by then. So what do I think is to come? Well, I think you play it in a similar way to what we did back in March, where essentially now you are going to recover. It's not going to be straight up. You may capitulate for a period of time. You are going to pop above this EMA, in my opinion. And then, in accordance and with the EMA, you were going to ride it back up, and this bull run is going to get underway. I do not think by any means at all right now that this bull run is finished. It would be the shortest bull run that we've had so far. Ultimately, it's my belief that there are still trillions of dollars to flow into the crypto space, and what this video is really about is assuring you, and I cannot advise any of you because I'm not a financial advisor, but I give it, I speak to my friends and family about this subject, and I say, you've got nothing to worry about. Do not sell your crypto. I spoke to my little brother the other day, and I said, look, if you sell your crypto, I'm going to disown you, because he would have been, he's still in the profit from where he got to, but I understand that how you win in the crypto space as an investor is by hodling. It works. That is the mantra for crypto. And ultimately, did you really think, and yes, we had followed the kind of 2017 structure of Bitcoin very, very closely to date. Did you really think it was going to play out exactly like that? It's too easy. They can't have everybody get rich, ladies and gentlemen, because they need to shake as many people out as possible so that they retain as much of the profits from this as they can. Who are they? We're going to speak about it in other videos. We're going to do a kind of series on that and, how kind of markets work. But ultimately, and I want to say this, and this is the last time I'm going to say it, in accordance with Elon Musk, this guy is so irrelevant to the crypto space. Ignore any kind of news that comes out about this. The China narrative was nonsense. China in 2007, they must have banned Bitcoin now, 12, 13 times. It's all turns out to just be, inaccurate, miscommunicated. It's all FUD, guys. It's all noise, and it's why I keep banging on to you guys. Don't be this guy that's ringing up Coinbase saying that somebody used his credit card. Understand where this space is going, and you have nothing to worry about. And ultimately, we are seeing a recovery in the crypto space, which I'm very, very happy about. This is inevitable, guys. We're not out of the woods yet. We need to watch what Bitcoin does. If we drop below, that just looks really messy. But of course, art was never my strongest subject. We don't want to sell below this 29,000 mark. That would be bad. then we would need to come on here and maybe rethink everything. But right now, I think a recovery is certainly on the cards. Let's drop to a smaller time frame, take a look at where we're at there. You can see already it is indeed taking place. As I'm talking to you on this video, we are looking like we are going to recover. We are going to pop above this EMA. I'll tell you one thing that I am watching out for now more than really the short time frames is the weekly time frame. I want us to come back above the 20 EMA on a weekly time frame. Why is that? Because if we stay below it for too long, I do believe that we will enter a bear market. You can see this is 2017. You stay above it in a bull market, and in a bear market, you tend to get pinned below it. We are, this, just because we've wicked down here doesn't really mean anything, guys, because we know that there are a number of factors that can cause sell-offs. Ultimately, we want to look at the bigger kind of macro direction of this market, and I would like to see this candle. If it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. We can still pop back above it and continue on our kind of bullish trend, which we're on essentially now. Yes, short term, things perhaps could look bearish. If we look at the total sort of money locked into crypto, we sold off pretty significantly. Let's just take the wicks. The entire crypto space at the bottom of the wick sold off by about 53%. Not good, very scary, but ultimately, guys, this is where you become a good investor. And I've seen this a million times before. Like I say, if we go back to March 2020, when I honestly thought, oh no, this is another 2018 all over again. It turned out that Bitcoin is a lot stronger than that, and we're here today. We've seen a similar thing happen, and ultimately I think it plays out in the exact same way. I mean, the difference between March and now is if you look at this wick, it largely didn't get bought back up in a similar way to the one we have just seen. That shows strength. That shows a belief in what is going on here. You had the rich people buying the hell out of this. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you in this video. Remember, do not trade leverage. Do not be this guy calling up Coinbase saying that somebody stole his credit card. Leverage traders always get wrecked. Simple as that. And you actually, to be honest with you, don't need leverage in this market. I understand that if people are trading with a very small volume of money, they may feel like that's the way to do it. But if you don't know what you're doing, and you'd be a better man than me if you could get leverage trades right all the time. I've leverage traded before. It doesn't always end well. Sometimes it will pay off, but it will probably not more times than it will, and it will take your entire account with you. I am a macro investor for the long term. I do take some short-term trades, but ultimately I understand that the way to win in the crypto space is by buying and holding. Do not fear, ladies and gentlemen. All in crypto is here. That is all I have for you in this video, guys. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. Ultimately, I think the recovery is on the table for Bitcoin. We are seeing it take place now. We're going to watch the weekends because weekends are a funny kind of time. But yeah, guys, I hope you're all doing too well. I know I kind of made a little joke about this guy here. Hello, Coinbase. Somebody used my credit card to buy Bitcoin. But you've got to try and make light of the situation whilst you can. I'm going to love and leave you on that note, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Big thanks to all the guys that are supporting on a daily basis. We are going to bring out a few videos today, so stay tuned for them. This is just going to be the first of a couple. All I have for you in this video, guys. I'm going to love and leave you, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.